Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is our Arise News analyst, the great Malabite, Emmanuel Ifeni.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, Olorogun.
You insist on that, Olorogun. Yes, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. Yes, before the lead story, let's just look at the story beside the photograph on top of Bajana. Kogi drags Dangote Group to court. Yes, this is what we expect the government of Kogi to do. If you have a dispute, go to court instead of resorting to self-help and trying to shut down that massive plant where thousands of Nigerians work. I don't know whether they have reopened the place after the government took that action to shut the place. But if you have a dispute, let the court decide. Go to court or let arbitrators wade into the matter. And also, at the political level, the president can call all parties and see how this can be resolved for the sake of investors' confidence and investors' perception of Nigeria. We don't need to add hostility to investors, to our good name, Rufai. Yes. Now, the lead story. Fashola, Buhari has constructed 8,352.94 kilometers of roads, created 339,955 jobs. Says government plans to open second Niger Bridge before Christmas. Declares NNPC has released 183 billion naira from 621 billion naira road tax infrastructure. Lai Mohammed says history will be kind to president. Yes, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari putting across what it has done in the last 7 years. Yes, blowing his own trumpet, thumping his own chest. Yes, but if you look at this number of kilometers of road, well, is that impressive? But many Nigerians who travel across the length and breadth of this country, the insecurity permitting, will tell you that, yes, the road, Songo-Ota Road to Abeokuta, is a federal road, is in serious state of disrepair. Nigerians who travel Benin-Warri Road will tell you it's a federal road, is in serious state of disrepair. Yes, we also remember from Abuja to Lokoja, just the backyard of the Federal Capital Territory. I want to say the backyard of the minister's office is in bad shape. Remember, the Kogi State governor saying he has made several trips to Abuja to beg the federal government to fix that road, a major road used by Nigerians moving from the north to the south, not in good shape. So if those roads are not fixed, quoting kilometers will not help anybody because Nigerians use those roads that are in serious state of disrepair. Creation of jobs, well, the statistics from the figures from the Office of Statistics tell the story. You have not scratched the surface, as it were. Now, of unemployment in our country, 33%. That's the figure, Rufai, you remember? Mm-hmm. Yes. So, quoting the number of jobs created over 7.5 years, it's not, you have not scratched the surface yet. But it's a good thing the government is trying to tell its own story, but history and historians, even those who record history in a hurry, like journalists, will keep the records. Now, the Guardian newspaper, Insecurity FX challenges slow rural telephony drive. Only 11 states comply with federal government's 145 naira per linear meter for right of way. 40% drop in rural telecoms investment since COVID-19 outbreak. NCC governors meet in Abuja today to discuss broadband deployment. 25 million Nigerians yearn for basic telephony services. Alton advocates discriminatory pricing for hostile states. Now, the Vanguard newspaper floods Account for 1 trillion ecological vote federal government tax states. States receive chunk of money, let them account. Presidency adds they are first responders. Reps start probe. Lagdo Dam not responsible for flooding, minister. Now, of course, the New Telegraph newspaper has the story also. Minister disagrees with senators over cause of flooding. Says Cameroon Dam not responsible. Though country notified Nigeria 24 hours after opening spillway. Blames calamity on heavy rainfall, silted riverbeds, building on floodplains. NEMA, 4,885 households ravaged by flood in Ogun. That's in Ogun State, story of the flood. Now, this is not the time for blame game. The federal government need to wade in big time to ameliorate this disaster caused by the flooding. Who to blame? What is the cause? Well, Nigerians who are suffering are not asking those questions. They need some succor. They need relief. They need attention from all governments, federal and state alike. Yesterday, the Navy moved one of their boats to help commuters along the east-west road between Port Harcourt and Warri. Kudos that they are helping, and of course also checking those miscreants who are also trying to exploit commuters who are using that way. Now, the Daily Sun newspaper 2023 campaigns, military bars politicians from using its insignia visuals. So politicians will take note. Now, the story below the photograph, Naira will be devalued by 20% in 2023, says Bank of America. 83% high debt service threat to revenue next year, finance minister. I don't know whether Governor Emefiele, the central bank governor, will concur with this. This looks like a prediction, but we'll see how it pans out. Now, one political story, the Punch newspaper, PDP crisis, aggrieved NWC members protest exclusion from presidential campaign. Now, the foreign newspapers quickly, the Times of London. Trust faces more turmoil after sacking Breverman. Yes, Downing Street forced to deny claims that Chief Whip resigned over chaotic Commons vote. Yesterday it was chaos. Of course, the Guardian newspaper reporting the story. Breverman bombshell puts Truss on the brink. How long can Liz Truss hold on to her position as Prime Minister? Because some are saying, Prime Minister, you have to go. Some are saying the Conservative Party should put the country before party. A lot of chaos yesterday, Robert.
Was Suella Braverman, was she pushed or did she jump? She said in her letter of resignation to the Prime Minister that, she had used a personal email to share official matters with an outsider, okay?
Yeah,
and she stated that as the reason. But in that same letter of resignation, he was very critical of the Prime Minister, of how pledges have been broken, promises have not been kept, and how there is division within the cabinet. So the bigger question, as we highlighted in the conversation with Mr. Michael Wilson, is for how much longer can the Prime Minister, Liz Truss, hold out? I was even saying, will she survive by weekend? He was saying, no, by noon today, we're likely to get...
Something has to give.
Well, he was saying by noon...
She's just hanging by the thread.
By noon today, something would be known. Okay, we'll see how it goes. But clearly, the cabinet in the United Kingdom, in Great Britain, is in trouble. And the premiership of Liz Truss is in trouble. Now, she has had to bring in Grant Shapps to replace Suella Braverman, former Attorney General, former, as it now stands, Home Secretary. These are Rishi Sunak's people. These are people who supported Rishi Sunak. So the way we are going, the coronation that some people have been talking about, will it be Rishi Sunak coming back? Or will it be Penny Mordaunt? Or will it be Boris Johnson being called to come and help clear the mess? That's it about that. Now, quickly, I wanted to talk about Fumini Afuye, the Speaker of the House of Assembly.
Ondo State House of Assembly.
Ekiti State.
Okay, yeah, Ekiti, who passed away yesterday.
Who was said to have died yesterday due to cardiac arrest. I knew him. He was a gentleman. He was a good man. He was a lawyer who transformed from being a lawyer to going, in fact, within the same axis, to become a politician in Ekiti State and became Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly since 2019. And in that position, he discharged and acquitted himself in a very honorable manner. It's not easy for a man to be called upon again and again from one administration to the other to be a speaker. A man who demonstrated maturity, a man who showed great wisdom, a man who was a great bridge builder. It's unfortunate that he's been lost. He has died 72 hours to his daughter's wedding. And that even makes it more painful. But I hope that the family, God will grant them the fortitude to bear this loss, and that they will continue with the wedding, as Mr. Afuye will have wanted. My good friend, Hakeem Jamiu, is Deputy Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly, Kimo, as we call him. I commiserate with him, and I commiserate with all our friends who knew Mr. Afuye when he and Oba Dokwanbolarin, the Orongun of Ukela, Dogzi, as we call him, ran a law firm together successfully before Dogzi went to become a traditional ruler, and Mr. Afuye went to become a traditional ruler. And all our other friends, Are Dele Momodu, who is part of that community, and also Mayor Akinpelu, and all our friends who knew. Thank you very much.
So you will be greatly missed.